Francisco Oquendo. I am the Assistant Director for Construction at Planning, Design, and Construction. I have few slides, so we're going slow. We have plenty of time for the presentation and for the questions. So let's start by saying that Planning, Design, and Construction, known as PDC, is the entity at UF, one of the entities at UF that manage and execute construction. You're going to hear throughout the presentation and even when you are doing business with UF that we refer to our projects as major projects or minor projects. So, and that's very important because that will determine how do we select the contractors, the architects, professional consultant, if any, for the projects. And I'm going to go from the majors all the way to what is known also as small minors. That is before. But before we do that, I'm going to show you a couple of things about UF because I know there is plenty of people here that probably are not familiar with the University of Florida. And then we continue talking about the majors and minor projects. The University of Florida, we have different uh, big entities at UF that we do business for. Education and general. Pretty much those are the ones that all the departments fall in. Those are the ones that you want to think about students related. That's where they sit down. That's where they take their classes. That's where their offices are for the professors and all of that. We also have the Health Science Center, which is located here on campus, not to be confused with Shands. Shands is the hospital. They have their own project management group. Health Science Center, there's a lot of labs, a lot of research going on. On that section of campus, that's where the UF Health that you hear a lot about, which is kind of the entity of UF that also deals with kind of hospital related things, but we're not Chance. Chance is a complete separate entity from UF. Then we have IFAS, Institute of Food and Agricultural Sciences. That's another section of UF. Now, IFAS have their own project management group when it comes to minor projects. And I want you to understand that because we, PDC, are not the only ones that you could be doing business with. Okay? There's IFAS, there's also housing. Housing, of course, by definition, is where the students and other people live on campus. They have their own project management group when it comes to minor projects. And then you have the auxiliaries. If you want to think about the auxiliaries, the biggest one is University Athletic Association, which a lot of you are related probably because of the sports that you enjoy so much. So they're considered auxiliaries, which means they have their own budget separated from us, and we may be doing projects for them and so on. Now, let me go to the next one here. This is just information just for you to know how big we are. University of Florida is a pretty big institution. It say 50,000. Last number I heard was 55,000 students, over 12,000 faculty and staff, just under 2,000 acres, uh, over 1,000 buildings, and you see the 24 million gross square feet that we have, and 388 acres of conservation land, um, which is pretty big. With being such a big organization, there is it's a very unique way of maneuver and navigate on how to do business here. And we're going to get into those details later. Now, just to give you an idea in money, funding, what do we deal with? Right now, we are managing, if you take in consideration projects in design and construction, planning, we're talking right now $2.4 billion that we manage at this present time. And those are all the projects that we deal with here at Planning, Design, and Construction. If we're talking only about minor projects, and remember, what is a minor project? This is a good time to talk about what is a major, what is a minor. Basically, you need to look at the construction cost of a project. That's the magic number that is going to determine if we are a minor project or a major. And that number is $7.725 million. Okay. And if you are in construction already, you probably know that this number a few years ago was many years ago was 1 million. A few years ago was 2, then 4, then 7.5 as last year, and this year increased to 7.725. And we were told that now on every year that number is going to increase. So as now, anything with the construction cost less than $7.725 million is considered a minor project. If we're looking at those minor projects only at any given day, any given time of the year, if I run a report that I do every Monday, automatically it's been sent to my office. How many projects do we have that falls within the category of minors? We're talking over 600 projects. Give you an idea how much have we grown? 6 years ago, when I started this position, we were in the 250. Now we're in the 600. Any day, 625, 615, 630. We're like there now, but I'm expecting towards the end of the year to now go to 650, 670, and so on. Okay. Now, many of you are asking, well, where are those projects? Well, the reason you don't see the 600 projects is because 99.9 of them happens inside a building. The other ones happen outside. Now, those are the minors. If we're talking about the majors, those are the new buildings that you see on campus. Those are the utility projects that you see on campus. You go to this road and it's blocked, especially during the summer. Those projects are multi-million-dollar projects and they falls within the category of a major. And it's very important that we understand what the difference is in between major and minors because the way we select them, anything below 7.725, we have contracts with people, contractors, architects, engineers, and we're going to go in details about that in a couple of minutes. But anything over 7.725, the procurement of those contractors and professional consultants is completely different because it needs to be a public solicitation. Um, Different than the contractor that I can pick one, give it to them. I cannot do that when it's a major project. We need to advertise. We need to let everybody knows what we're trying to do. And companies, consultants specifically, uh, approach us. There's a lot of deadlines. There's a very structured system in place how to pick those contractors and those professional consultants. Completely different. Um, let's go back here for a second. Okay, our website, and I'm gonna show you the website in a second. Facilities.ufl.edu, and I'm gonna leave it here for a few seconds in case you want to either take a picture or write the name, and then I'm going to show you that website, which is I'm gonna go. Give me a second. Okay. When you do facilities.ufl.edu, this is what you see. Everybody seeing my website here? Can you see it, Desiree? Okay,
Yes.
good. When you go facilities.ufl.edu, this is what you see. And now I'm going to show you, there's a lot of information here, but I'm going to show you in a few seconds the contracts that we have and how to find them. So I'm going to move this back here. Again, this is what you see when you open our website. I'm coming back here for a second, coming back, and this is some of the information that you can find in our website. Who are we? Our mission, our promise, news and notices, current projects, form and standards, which is the one that I'm going to show you in a few seconds. We have a section for planning, sustainability, interiors. All of that is in our website. The best thing to do is to spend some time navigating through the website, looking, reading, finding where things are, so you are familiar with the kind of information that we have. And if you have any questions, what to ask. Okay, so I'm now going to talk about the contracts. Before I start talking about the contracts, I'm coming back here and I'm going to show you where you can find that. This is what you see when you open our website. If you see my little cursor here, if you go to resources, you don't have to click on anything. Just put the cursor there and that's going to show up. Now, if you want to know who's the people that we currently have contract with, if you go where it say annual contracts, this page is going to show up. And I'm going to start from the top and I'm going to go down. The top one is where you're going to find the names, the contact names, the addresses of every professional consultant that have a contract with us. Those those professional consultants also include the construction management companies. We consider construction management companies in the same group as professional consultants. So if you click in here, you're going to be able to see that list. Now, let's go down because this is one difference that you need to know. This contract here, the one for the professional consultant and the CMs, our office, planning, design, and construction, is the one that advertise for them. We're the one that put all the documents out there for you to apply for it. We tell you when the deadlines are, all of that. That is completely controlled by planning, design, and construction. Now, all the other ones that you see below, they are advertised and controlled by procurement office at UF. Now, the beauty about this is that you remember when at the beginning I mentioned IFAS, housing, and us. We all, IFAS, housing, PDC, we all use these contracts. Everybody at UF uses this contract. These are not contracts only for planning, design, and construction. They can use them at any time, at any day. And we're going to talk in details about how to get into that list. So I'm going to concentrate. Let me mention what kind of contract do we have. We have contracts with general contractors. We have contracts with mechanical, electrical, plumbing, painting and pressure washing contractors, moving contractors, flooring contractors, network infrastructure, underground utility contractors, and asbestos abatement contractors. Now, you see a date next to it. And this is what I don't want you to get confused. Uh, the second year that you see there, you see 23, 24. You see 23, 26. Let's talk about the second year, the 2024. Some people think I may get confused and say, oh, we're in 2025. Uh, that contract expired. No, the second year that you see here is the beginning of the last year of the contract. So even though say 2024 expired the year after that, 2025. So that's the reason I said that is because I have a contractor calling me the other day and said, "Hey, that thing expired," and I'm like, "No, not yet." So, but to give you an idea about, let's talk about the ones that say 2024. GC, mechanical, electrical, plumbers, and contractors. All of those, if you notice, carry the same time frame, 2023, 2024. And the reason is this. When they advertised the last time for those contracts, they decided, procurement said, you know what, it would be nice if all of them goes from the same beginning date to the same ending date. And the reason is they need to do a lot of work to advertise for these contracts. So if you can do all of them at the same time, that's ideal for them. So that's how it happened. Um, General contractors, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, and pressure washing contractors have the same dates. Moving contractors 2026, flooring 2024, network 2025, underground utility 2024. And this one, I know that asbestos abatement contractors, I believe there's a new contract there. We are in the process of changing this to the new one. So I know there's a new one out there. I don't know exactly when it ends, but it's not 2022. This is an old one. So we need to change that. Planning, design, and construction. Now, before we continue, I talk about major projects over 7.725. I talk about minor projects below 7.725. There is a subcategory within that group that we call a small minor. That's the name that you see here. A small minor, a small minor, a small minor, a small minor. What are those? Always refer to the construction cost. We said before, construction cost over 7.725 is a major. Anything below 7.725 is a minor. But we have a subcategory that we call a small minor. And for that one, the construction cost needs to be below $200,000. That's where a lot of you maybe will fall. Uh, I say maybe because I don't know exactly who's participating today, but those are the one that if we have a project, let's talk about mechanical. I need to replace an air handling unit in a building. And that unit is going to cost me $150,000 construction cost, including installation, the unit, everything. I go to this contract. There's a list of mechanical contractors. I pick one. I contacted that contractor and we start talking about the projects. Then we start talking about the how much. Then you give me a quote. Then I give you a PO and you do the work. Now, my commitment, our office commitment with the University of Florida and the community is that we spread the workload as evenly as we can among all the participants. It's impossible for us to have like I'm going to contractor A, then contractor B, then contractor C, and then go back to A. Uh, and the reason it's difficult, and if you're in construction, it work in our best interest. For example, I do have projects that I give to a contractor. We started working in building 117, if there's such a building, and they're working on the third floor. And during that construction, somebody from the second floor went to do work. Well, it works in our best interest to go to the guy that is working on the third floor because we can share maybe supervision, because there is a lay down area that's close to it that he's already using. So we look at all of that before we assign a project to a contractor. Okay. So that's the contract. Now, how do you get into these particular contracts? On the ones that are starting on the small minor contractors and below, procurement would do an advertisement the year that this contract it will be renewed. For example, I have here that the mechanical contractor, let me find here exactly the date. The year, and I need to clarify exactly the when, but the year that they advertise, I see a note, paperwork here telling me that it's good until 2027, but I need to confirm. Yeah, it's good until 2027. Um, the year that expired, there's a lot of documentation out there, procurement advertise. It's a public, it's open to the public. There are some requirements. Usually at the beginning of the end part by August of that year, they start the advertisement because by November the 30th, everybody needs to be on contract, signed, ready to go. Okay. Um, and those are the first five that I mentioned here. A small minor, GC, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, and pressure washing. Those have the same beginning and ending date. And um, if you if you're not, I would say register with the procurement office, by being here dealing with the small business, it is good because now we know that you're out there and we can reach out to you and tell you, hey, listen, contracts are going to be renewed this year, this day. Um, if we don't know that you are here, there is no way for us to reach out to everybody. So it's open to the public, but by being associated with the small business office at UF, uh, we know who you are and we can reach out to you, which is ideal because we're always looking for opportunities for the community. And when I say the community, I don't mean only Gainesville, okay? Because there's some requirement to how far from Gainesville you could be in order to apply for these contracts. So
Francisco,
go ahead,
we have a question.
go ahead. Oh yeah, please. Can
Hi,
you tell me what the
Francisco.
question is?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you for your great overview on this. Just one clarification question. I pulled down the uh, small minor plumbing, and there's, half a dozen to a dozen companies here. And it says optional renewal terms. So the term began at 12/1/2024, and it's
Yes.
ending November 30th, 2025. So in application of what you're talking about, if somebody wanted to uh, position their company or uh, be a part of the upcoming year in supporting these companies, what would you recommend?
Okay. My is not my understanding. I know this for a fact because some other contractor have asked the same question before.
Okay.
We cannot add people to the list until the
Okay.
last year, until it's renew again. Renew means like based on the dates that you told me, which are the dates that I'm looking at here when I look to my right, it will not be until year 2027 that you will be able to apply for that
Mm-hmm.
contract. Having said that, in a few minutes, in a couple of minutes, I'm going to be talking what is the other way that we can give you work if you are not on this list.
Okay, great. Thank you
We're
so
gonna talk about
much.
that in a few. Okay, good. Um,
Appreciate it.
any other question for now before we continue? So I'm gonna pull this back here for a second. And all that you see on the screen now, what it say small minor, those are the ones that we were talking less than $200,000. Let's talk about the ones on the left. In case there's anyone on the audience that will fall within this category. Minor projects are below $7.725 million, and they have a different starting and ending date than the other ones. So this one, and you can see the list here. Architect, I'm going to exclude CM for a second. Architect, utilities, commissioning, civil, MEPF, which is mechanical, electrical, plumbing, and fire protection, surveyors, energy, and the CMs. The CMs are included in this group. And um, these these contracts also have a renewal date. And the way they do it, they give you a contract. The duration of the contract is 3-4 years, but every year we give you a renewal option. Um, and that is determined by your performance. Believe it or not, rarely, but we have some professional consultants and or construction management company that after a year they decided to, hey, listen, I don't want to renew the contract. I remember a professional consultant, I think it was like a year ago. They got into a massive contract with the government, and they came back to us and say, listen, I got this magnificent, humongous contract with the government. I cannot do work for you. I mean, even if I want to. I mean, so good for them. They got a multi-million-dollar contract with the government. And again, rarely, but it happens. Now, what also rarely happens is that we as UF, we decided not to renew the contract with a particular contractor and or particular professional consultant. It's rare, and I can give you a statistic about how rare. In my 6 years here in this position, it only happened twice. And before we reach, I'm gonna talk 30 seconds on this because I really don't want to do that. We really don't like that. But I can tell you something for sure. When those two professional consultants and or CMs, when we didn't renew the contract, when we told them, was not a surprise for them because I don't wait until the renewal date to let you know that I'm not going to renew you. We've been talking about this. Things happen before we reach that decision. And I would let you know that when it happened, not when I'm ready to send you a letter for renewal. So those two particular companies, it was not a surprise. We've been dealing with issues before. So, but it's rare. One was a professional consultant, the other one was a CM company, and they're not with us anymore. So, um, those are in relation to those contracts. Now, I think I open for question, but I'm gonna go back again because this is a dynamic process. Now, let's talk about what happened if I don't have a contract with UF. Can I still get work? The answer is yes. But I'm going to go slowly on my response, and I'm going to tell you why. Uh, the Florida statute, and that is not us, the Florida statute says that if the construction cost of a project is less than $10,000, we as an institution, we can give that particular job to anybody we want, regardless of having contract with us, as long as they are registered as a UF vendor. And when it comes to UF vendor registration, that's when the small business office comes very handy because they will let you know how do you do that. By the way, very simple. It's online, procurement office, very simple. And it's between you and UF. We don't get involved. So I have contractors telling me, hey, can I send you the paperwork? No, because there's some company sensitive information there that I don't want to see. So it will be in between UF and you, but a small business office will help you with that. Going back to the Florida statute, less than 10,000, I can give it to anybody. In between 10,000 and $149,999, I can still give you work, but I need to get into a quote process, not a hard bid. We're going to talk about that in a second. In other words, if my construction cost is in between 10 and $1 short of 150,000, I need 3 quotes or more. I get the quotes. I call you, hey, come over here. Usually we call everybody at the same time. Come over here. This is the work. Any questions? Give me the quote. We get it, and we can give it to you, even though you don't have a contract with us. Okay? Over 150,000, it needs to be hard bidded. And the entity at UF that they do the hard bids is procurement. So we get with them and we tell them, listen, I have this project and it's over 150 and we're going hard bid. They're the one that put the bid package together and they send it out. Okay. Um, we don't see a whole lot of them. And the reason is because since we have a CM contract with people, we we don't have to do the hard bid. Now we still do them, but it's not that often. Now, let's concentrate on the 10,000 and 150. And the reason we said that is because if you're in this business, you know that everything here costs more than $10,000 unless you're painting an office. Uh, so let's concentrate on the bulk of that, which is in between 10 and 150. What I tell all the potential vendors is Florida statute allow me to use that mechanism, the quote, the 3 quotes or more to you, but, and there's a big but over there. And the but is I have contracts with GCs, mechanical, electrical, plumbers. I want to make sure that they have enough work because they have a contract with us. Okay. So even though I do have the option off, I still go first to the contractors. Now, we have some entities at UF, there's some departments at UF that they told us, planning, design, and construction. It doesn't matter if you have a contract or not. My department, my dean, my director, we want to see always, always 3 quotes. And we honor that. We have some people here at UF that we know because they told us when we send you a project request, tell your project manager that I want to see 3 quotes, and we do that. Now, when it comes to quotes, we contact you, we let you know what the scope of work is. There's always a meeting on site. We call you, you come over, you look at it, and we tell you by when we need the quotes, and we start the process. We give you that opportunity. Uh, and I get these questions all the time from contractors. How big of a project I can execute? Well, it's going to be below 200,000. I can give you that. But if you have never done work here at UF, never, completely new, I don't want to set you, I don't want you to fail. So I'm not going to give you a $190,000 dollar project in the middle of campus. And the reason I say the middle of campus, if you have done work here before, do work in the middle of campus here physically is pretty difficult because we don't have a whole lot of laid down areas. We don't have a whole lot of parking permits to give you. There's a lot of students going through it. And if you have never done work here, that's going to be very difficult for you. And we don't want that. We don't want you to fail. So the ones that I have given the opportunity has been not exactly in the middle of campus, but areas close to it, and not a whole lot of money involved. Uh, because we want to make sure that you learn, know how we do business, and there is a whole lot of rules. And I can give you a few because the one that I deal the most with, believe it or not, is people smoking on campus. Contractor smoking. I just got another email this morning about somebody, and somebody could be anybody, a student, a visitor, a secretary, doesn't matter, complaining about contractor smoking right at the entrance of the building. And they send the complaint, and we need to follow through. And that's one of the rules. The other rule, hey, when there is a game here, like this Saturday here, no, you cannot be working on campus. You cannot. So, uh, and that is only two examples of the many rules that we have. We call them not technical specifications. There's a bunch of them, and they're in our website that you can read through it, look at it, and said, wow, I didn't know that. Well, another one, sexual harassment, that's big. If you're a new contractor here, the number one is not the number one reason, but the number one, the biggest problem you could have here is that you get involved, you or one of your employees, into a sexual harassment complaint at the University of Florida. You're going to be fully investigated. If at the end of the day it's proof that some fault happened, it's bad for business. I'm telling you this, and if I hopefully nobody here have gone through this before, because it's pretty painful for you as a company. So, but and when I said that, people get confused here sometimes. With the University of Florida, it goes both ways, from a contractor to anybody on campus, and from anybody on campus towards the contractor. The consequences would be not so good for either. So don't believe that you're the one at fault because you're a contractor. That's not the way this works. Okay. So in a big nutshell, that's how we do things here at UF. There's a lot of more details, but it's not gonna be until you get your first job, until you do things here, that we will be able, because this is what's gonna happen, and I do this all the time. When we get you on board, when we know that you're gonna be the one that is gonna do the work, if you have never done it, I do assign one or two of my project managers to sit down with you and your company and to guide you through the process. We're not going to let you, hey, do the work, I'll see you later. No. Things like, do you need keys to get into? How do you get into building? What times can you work? What happened when there is people, the offices are occupied when you're doing work? Is a whole lot of items that we have to checklist for you. And we guide you through the process. We're not going to let you be by yourself. That's not good for you. It's not good for us. Okay. So any questions out there that I may go into some other details, let me know. I'm here until 1 o'clock. We have 12 more minutes. So um, let me know. And you can, Desiree, maybe you can give them my email. If anybody asks for my email, Desiree can give it to you, and we can talk. Anybody out there that may have a question before we kind of leave?
Yeah, I've got a question. Can you hear me?
Yes, I need
Yes.
your name, your company, your industry, kind of thing.
Yeah, so I'm Esteban. I'm with King's Interior Design, and my what we do is we're certified interior designers and licensed contractors. So I just have a question on the minor projects for the consultants. I see a lot listed on here, the construction manager and the architect specifically. Do you all ever work with like hospitality or commercial licensed interior designers instead of architects for doing like any interior planning renovations? Or do you typically just go to architects to do all of it?
We typically go through architects, but here in our office, we have one licensed interior designer that works under the university architect portion, which is under our office. Uh, and I have another project manager who specializes in interior design.
Okay.
That's basically the way we do it.
Okay.
Mhm. Okay.
Hmm.
Anything else? Good. Any other questions out there?
Hi, Francisco. My name is Dr. Dorette Nicewander. The company is D Group Consulting Services, and one of my clients is a water manufacturer. So if you have this list that we were talking about for minor small business projects, can we reach out to these companies that are on the current contract award list and ask them if they can utilize our water filtration services?
It's not only that you can, it is something that I would like you to do.
Okay.
Yes, everything you see in our website is public information. If
Mm-hmm.
there is, and there are, because you already saw it and everybody else probably can, you're going to reach out the list. You're going to see emails. You're going to see phone numbers. That is public information. When we put it there, oh yeah, you can call them anytime. Um, and this is my suggestion for you or anybody here. If you're going to reach out to any of them, you can start the conversation. Please start the conversation saying, I was in a University of Florida small business workshop, and there was a
Okay.
guy there named Francisco who encouraged me to contact you. Feel free to do that.
Okay. Thank you,
Yes,
sir. Appreciate it.
yes. Okay.
Hi, Francisco.
Yes.
I had a question. We're a restoration contractor, and regarding, let's say, if we were brought in to do a dry out, some structural drying, let's say because there was a plumbing mishap on a job, would it be the case that UF would hire us in that situation, or would it be the actual contractor that might have caused the mishap, or the GC that was managing that job? Is that
Okay.
something you can elaborate on?
If I have a GC on the project, if I do, it would be the GC's responsibility to get get you. Now, if I know that I need your services and I don't have a GC, let's mention a plumber, do whatever, yes, I can reach out to you. I can do that, definitely. But if we have a GC, since it is a GC, we prefer them to manage that. But a mechanic,
Okay.
and it happens a lot. I have an electrical contractor that really did a bad job on a wall, and I needed to reach out to somebody, and I had to do it me directly. I did. I mean, I don't have to tell you who paid for it, but I have to. But it was us the one reach out because I didn't have any trust on the guy. I mean, okay, you really did a bad job. Now I want me to trust you to get somebody else to fix it. No, the answer is no. So we're gonna get this guy. Guess what, Mr. Electrical Contractor? Well, you're paying for it. That's the way it goes. Okay. So yeah. Anything else?
Any other questions for Francisco?
One
What I would
more.
love. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead,
Go ahead,
please.
Can
Bob.
I do that?
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
since we are a little bit different and get brought into all sorts of projects, being a restoration type of contractor, is it worth us regarding your department? Um, reaching out to you and identifying ourselves, or just saying, hi, we're an approved supplier, we're available if you need us type thing. How would you, is there
Feel,
any category that we might fit in, or how would you recommend we interact with you, if at all?
Well, I would like to, if you want to, you can get my email from Desiree, and I would like to have a conversation with you because, as you said, you're like in a unique position and or a different position, and I would definitely would like to have you in contact with some of these people that may be hiring for your services. Okay? Mhm.
Thank you.
Anything
We'll
Johnny,
be in
did you
touch.
want
Thank
to?
you.
else?
My
Please.
apologies.
Yeah.
Johnny,
Oh,
you want to go ahead and ask your question?
yeah. Thank you, Francisco, for the the opportunity. Johnny from Gravados Awards and Engraving. Quick introduction. We do all the name tags for UAA and different departments. However, we also do ADA signs.
Oh,
How would be,
okay.
or even better, the phenolic plates for the electrical panels?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we do all
Yes.
those, and we do it for different companies here in town. How do we
Uh-huh.
get to UF? Because I know you guys need this.
Okay. Are you like a sign?
No, we do
Before.
we do
Okay.
we do laser and sandblasting engraving. So we do a lot of awards for gymnastics and athletic association, but also at the same time we do signs for smaller projects.
Yes.
I know recently you closed a bidding for the big signs for on campus. That's too big for us. But
Okay. That's what I was going. Yeah. Because we have we'll be changing a lot of signs here, especially the one outside the buildings. You're gonna see that. But what you're talking about, based on the size that you show me, you're talking probably signs inside a building rather than outside because of the size. Okay. Um, do you know that we have, I'm pretty sure that we have a sign construction standard at UF.
I do.
Okay. So,
This one, for example, went into the new building, the artificial intelligence building.
okay. So you're familiar with it.
I'm familiar, but in a small scale.
Okay. Okay. This is what I would like you to do, and then I tell you why. Um, please contact me, and this is why. We have a very, very limited amount of companies that are doing signs here at UF. And we would like to increase competition. We do. So it's more than one, but if I can add more like yours, that will be better for us, better for you. And the reason I want you to contact me is because I do have a one of my project managers knows a lot about the kind of signs that we use. And I would like to you meet with that person so we can say, okay, based on what we need, Gravados Awards is another contractor that we can call. That's basically why. I wanted to talk because that project managers know a lot more about the kind of science that we do than myself. I want that person to talk to you and then you connect and we'll be able to say, yes, they are a company that we can use. I'm trying to find competition. That's what I'm trying to do here for you and for me. I mean, definitely. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. What is your last name again? You're muted.
Suarez.
I think we know each other for years back, don't
I
we?
you look familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take care of it. Okay. Anybody else's?
Any other
One more.
questions?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, Francisco.
The one thing that I want to say here, the University of Florida here, we welcome new players, new contractors, new people from within our community. And again, community doesn't mean Gainesville only. Uh, People that we can do business with. That's what we're here for. We do have a lot of need, and you can supply that. You are the contractors, you are the people that can do things. We would love to talk to you. We want to make sure that you have an opportunity when these contracts go and be advertised. So please, 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 contact me if based on your need, like you heard what I told Gravados, I may find a project manager in my office, somebody that really, really can talk to you and find the need for your services. Please do that. Desiree can give you my email address. And when you email me, please make reference to this workshop because I do get a lot of solicitation, but honestly, if you're here and you took the time to be here, I would like to make sure that we connect. Okay. So tell the ask Desiree, she will give you my email and we go from there. Okay. Other than that, you have a great
Thank
time
you,
if there's no more
Francisco.
questions.
So
You have a good day, people.
I did put his email in the chat, so you guys
Mhm,
can reference the chat. And before you
mhm.
all log off, we do have a survey that we would like for you all to complete for our department's purposes. So, Francisco, if you could stop sharing your screen so Denise can share hers for the survey. Just before you guys
Yeah.
hop off, it's going to take a few seconds. It's not going to take
Did
long
I
at
do it?
all. Yes, you did. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you,
Can I leave?
Francisco.